This is a discussion on inequality symbols and how to graph them. So the first symbol is greater than. The next symbol is less than. This one is greater than or equal to, so when you see the line underneath it, it equals it. And then the last one is less than or equal to. When we graph inequalities, you're going to see them written two ways as graphs. If you have the greater than or less than, it's going to be either what we call an open circle or a parentheses. If you have the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle or a bracket. So here's some examples of graphing. Our first example is x is greater than 2. The way I remember this is whatever the alligator mouth is eating is the greater number. So alligator mouth is eating the variable x. So x is greater than. So just kind of remember the words. So how we graph this on a number line, so remember this number line goes on forever. I'm just going to graph a few numbers here. Let's just say -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Since it's not equal to, I have to do an open circle. And it's greater, so the numbers to the right is what you would shade to the right. If we wanted a parentheses, it would be parentheses and then opening to the right. So you could use either one of those notations. As an interval, you start off with 2 and a parentheses, and then notation is it's going on to positive infinity. Next example to graph is x is less than or equal to. The way we graph this is on the number line. We'll start at -4, -3, -2, -1. Just picking a few numbers here. And now it is including -3. So we're going to do a closed circle. And it says x is less than or equal to. So numbers are getting smaller as we move to the left. If we wanted as a bracket notation, here's our bracket, going to the left. To create the interval notation, we're going from -infinity, and then we're stopping at -3. Bracket, parentheses. This next one is a compound inequality. It's starting at -2, then -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's saying x is greater than -2, so it's going this way, and less than or equal to 4. So closed circle here, less than or equal to 4. How you write this as an interval is parentheses, smallest number is -2, comma, largest number is 4, with a bracket, because it can include 4. Our last example on this slide, I tend to tell my students to rewrite this inequality, because notice the 10 is first. So many students make mistakes if you see the number first. So let's go x and then 10, and then notice where the inequality is eating. It is eating the 10, so be careful on the direction. So this is less than. So to graph it, here's 9, 10, 11. I'm just picking a few numbers here. This is an open circle or a parentheses, and it's less. So it's going to the left. You can do either one of those notations. As an interval, our smallest number is -infinity, and it's stopping at 10. It cannot include 10, so we have to have that parentheses. Our last example is now we give you an interval, and we want you to graph that interval and then write it as an inequality. So this interval is saying I have -5, I'll go -4, -3, -2, -1, and 0. I can include -5 because it has the bracket, so that's a closed circle, and all the numbers from -5 to just before 0, because now this is a parentheses. So there is our graph of this interval, or if you want it as parentheses and brackets, here's your bracket going off to a parentheses. If you were to convert it to an inequality, you have your x less than 0, but greater than or equal to -5. And that's how you can construct an inequality if you're given an interval.